Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. This is IMAX Sports with another basketball video, and today I'm going over recaps of the first half of the NBA Conference Semifinals series. There's 4 series going on, 2 in the East, 2 in the West, and all of them have just finished Game 4 of 7, so I was going to go over each series, how each team is doing, and what I expect from the rest of the series. First off, we have Warriors-Grizzlies. All of the stats are for the entirety of the playoffs so far, because it's kind of hard to get individual series stats. If you guys know where I can find them, let me know, but ESPN has the entirety of the playoffs, so that's what I'm going on. The Warriors are 7-2 so far in the playoffs. They won their first series 5-1, and they're currently winning this series. They've won the first series 4-1. They're currently winning this one 3-1. Grizzlies are 5-5. They were 4-2 in their first series, and they are 1-3 in this one. Game 1 of the series, Warriors won by 1 in Memphis. Then they lost by 5 in Memphis. Then they took it home and they won 2 games. Won at the first game by 30, in the second game by 3. No Ja Morant in this last one. I don't know whether or not Ja played in Game 3, but I know he did not play in Game 4. 116 points a game for the Warriors and 112 points a game for the Grizzlies. 2 of the higher points per games for any of the teams in the playoffs currently. Field goal percentage 49.9 for the Warriors and 44 for the Grizzlies. 38 three-point percentage for the Warriors, 35.2 field goal percentage for the Grizzlies. Free throw percentage 74.3 to 74.3. Offensive rebounds 8.8 and 32.9 defensive rebounds versus the Grizzlies 12.1 on offense and 33 on defense. And assists, steals, blocks. Steals and blocks to the Grizzlies, while the Warriors definitely taking a commanding advantage in the assist category. Turnovers and fouls pretty similar for most teams. Key things in this series, the passing by the Warriors obviously is always elite. The Warriors get the ball around. That's one of the reasons why they're able to get so many clean threes. They've done a phenomenal job with that. And even in this last game when they weren't shooting well, they were still getting clean looks and clean threes. Now, I don't know, and obviously you can't expect the Warriors to continue to have troubles from 3. It'll be interesting to see how the Grizzlies try and bounce back when they go back home. When they go back home in 2 days from now, or tomorrow, sorry. But they do have a home game the next game. Ja, I don't know whether or not he'll be back or not. I should probably figure that out. But if Ja is back in their home, then the Grizzlies need to win that game in order to bring it to 3-2. I don't see them winning the series at this point. I think the Warriors have got it under control. The Grizzlies do have a rebounding advantage, but the assists have really been what's helped the Warriors. In the three-point percentage, 38% and 49.9% from the field. Their offense is just working overtime. And that's just what the Warriors do. I picked the Warriors to actually make it to the NBA Finals. A lot of people probably disagreed with that pick. I know a lot of people were in the comments saying that it was a bad pick. But hey, they're 7-2 in the playoffs. They've only lost 2 games. They've won 7. And the Grizzlies were second highest record in the league going into the series. So, on the defensive side of the ball, the Warriors are defending better for points a game average than the Grizzlies, 109.1 to 111.6. Field goal percentage slightly lower for the Warriors. 3-point percentage slightly lower for the Warriors. Free throw percentage slightly lower for the Warriors. The Warriors allow less rebounds. They allow more offensive rebounds, but they allow less defensive ones. And steals, assists, and blocks. They're allowing less assists. They're allowing slightly more steals, and they're allowing less blocks. Their opponents are turning the ball over less, and they're fouling less. But if the Warriors are beating the Grizzlies on field goal, 3-point, free throw, defensive rebounds, total rebounds, assists, blocks on defense, turnovers and fouls aren't going to be a whole big deal. So, big few games coming up for the Grizzlies. They need to win out. I don't see it happening. I see the Warriors winning in 5, maybe 6. Heat versus the 76ers. The Heat are the 1 seed in the East. The 76ers are the 4 seed in the East. Although all 4 of the teams in the East are within 3 games, and 2, 3, and 4 are all tied with the same record. The 76ers got the short end of the deal for the seeding, but I don't really see any of the teams being better than the others in the East, to be honest. 106.6 points per game for the Heat, 107.9 for the 76ers. Field goal percentage slightly higher for the 76ers. 3-point percent way higher. 76ers actually have a better 3-point percentage than the Golden State Warriors do in the playoffs this year. Higher free throw percentage at 84.4. Less offensive rebounds, more defensive. They're averaging both exactly 40. Slightly less steals, blocks, and assists for the 76ers. Turnovers, more for the 76ers. Less fouls. The difference in this series is that Joel Embiid was out for 2 games. Obviously, he was out for the first 2 games. The Heat won both of those games at home. If you're playing the Heat at home and you're missing your best player for 2 games, they're obviously going to win both of those games. Then they went to Philadelphia. Joel Embiid was back, so your best player is back, and you're playing at home for 2 games. Sixers won both games. Game 5 is going to be the crucial game. I stand by my prediction that the 76ers will win the series. I picked the 76ers to win in 7. I stand by that prediction. I think that they're going to win a game in Miami, and then they might even win it in 6. They might win this one and then win at home. But if Miami wins this next game, then they will have some sort of momentum going into Game 6. But I don't see the 76ers losing at home again. Or at all. They haven't lost at home yet. I don't see them losing at home at all. With that being said, Joel Embiid being back has definitely turned the tide in the series. On the defensive side of the ball, Heat's defense has been phenomenal. 99.7 points a game against. The 76ers averaging 103.1. Field goal percentage pretty similar, but the 3-point percentage for the 76ers against is 29.4. Free throw percentage pretty similar, 81%. And the Heat are averaging similar rebounds to the 76ers once again, 38.5 instead of the 40 that was on offense. Assists, neither team is allowing many assists. Neither team is allowing many blocks. All 3 assist, blocks, and steals are very similar. The Heat are averaging slightly less. So obviously, 76ers slightly better on offense. Heat slightly better on defense. It's a very tight series. But the Heat are creating more turnovers. The 76ers on defense only having 10.4 turnovers against per game. So Heat are creating more turnovers, or more turnovers are being played against them. Hoping that... Actually, I hate picking who I want as a playoff opponent. I don't even know if the Celtics are going to make it to the next round, but per my prediction, I want the 76ers to win, then they need to win Game 5. If the 76ers win Game 5, then they're taking the series. If the 76ers lose Game 5, then it's a 50-50 shot, in my opinion. But if the 76ers win Game 5, I think they're taking the series, no questions asked. Celtics Bucks. I picked the Celtics to win in 6. I don't think they're still going to win in 6. They'll probably win in 7. But I do still think the Celtics are going to win the series. They lost the first game by 12. They won the second game by 23. They lost the third game in a heartbreaking Al Horford missed tip that would have gone in if it was 0.2 seconds earlier. But it did go in. It was just 0.2 seconds late. And then 8-point win in Game 4 for the Celtics gives it a 2-2 series with Celtics regaining home court advantage going into Game 5. 108.6 points a game for the Celtics to the Bucks, 105.2 for the playoffs so far. 45.4 field goal percentage to 44.9 for the Bucks. 37.7 3-point percentage for the Celtics to 34.7 for the Bucks. 82.3% free throw percentage to 71 for the Bucks. And the Celtics are averaging slightly more offensive rebounds, but the Bucks have 50 total rebounds per game, which definitely gives them a lot of second chance points. It's given them it's taken away, more than giving them extra second chance points, it's taken away a lot of the Celtics' second chance points. Celtics are averaging 3.5 more assists per game, more steals, more blocks, less turnovers, more fouls. The Celtics do move the ball, have started moving the ball around a lot more in more recent games. Definitely has led to the increase in assists. And Al Horford has been phenomenal, increasing that 3-point percentage. Al Horford was 5 of 7 last night from 3. I think he was 11 of 14 total. So 6 of 7 from 2. Al Horford has been the difference in this series. Jason Tatum's had some bad games. Jaylen Brown's had some bad games. Al Horford has been consistently the best player for the Celtics. There's an argument he's played better than Giannis. Not really, because Giannis did score 42 in that win the other night. But Al Horford has a plus 32 plus minus. That's the best plus minus of the series. Giannis is sitting somewhere around 17, and I think Jason Tatum is at 11 or something. Or those two might be switched. I'm not sure which one. But yeah, Al Horford has been the difference in the series. On defense, both of these teams are phenomenal defensively, but the Bucks in the playoffs so far have been the dominant defense. 99 points a game allowed to the Celtics, 104.2. 41 field goal percentage allowed to the Celtics, 46. 33 3-point percentage allowed to the Celtics, 35. Higher free throw percentage, but you can't really impact that. For some reason, people always throw free throws bad against the Celtics this year. Don't know why. Offensive and defensive rebounds. The Celtics are allowing less rebounds overall, which is impressive considering how many of the Bucks have been getting. That's why I wish I had the individual series statistics here, because it's kind of like comparing Series 1 and Series 2. But the Celtics are allowing less assists than the Bucks, similar to the assist stats on offense, and then steals and blocks are going to the Bucks. A lot of that was from last night. The Bucks had a lot of assists last night. 13 turnovers for the Celtics on average against 12.8 on average for the Bucks against, again, very similar for turnovers and fouls. But the defense has been the way of this series. Last night was the highest scoring game of the entire series. The Celtics had 116 and the Bucks had 108. There's only been 3 times that a team scored over 105 in the 4 games. So it's been a tight defensive series. It's been a very physical series. It's been a slugfest, and it'll be interesting to see if Milwaukee will be able to overcome the home field advantage deficit, or if the Celtics will be able to win at home Game 5 and in Game 7. And the last series is Suns-Mavericks. Both teams are 6-4 in the playoffs. They both won 4-2 in their first series, and this series is currently tied 2-2. Suns were the best team in the league going into the playoffs. They lost Devin Booker for Series 1, but they have him back for this one. 111.3 points a game in the playoffs for the Suns versus 106.5 for the Mavericks. 51.9 field goal percentage to 45 for the Mavericks. Mavericks are averaging a higher 3-point percentage at 38 compared to 36 for the Suns. Similar free throw percentages and more rebounds for the Suns. Both of these teams less than the Celtics and way less than the Bucks. Rebounds are not their specialties. But the Suns getting the ball around almost as much as the Warriors. 26.6 assists per game, 6.5 steals, and 4.1 blocks. Mavericks don't get any blocks. A few more assists, but they're very good at not turning the ball over. Only 8.9 turnovers per game. This series started off 2 games for the Suns and then 2 games for the Mavericks. I think there's only been 3 games so far in the entire round that have gone not to the home team. Every other game has gone to the home team. The Celtics and the Bucks each won a game away, and the Warriors won a game away. Every other game has gone to the home team. So Suns went up 2-0. Mavericks came back 2-0 to tie it up 2-2. The Suns technically have a higher margin of victory. They won by 20 in Game 2. They won by 7 in Game 1 versus a 9-point win and a 10-point win for the Mavericks, but still very close games. On defense, Suns are allowing more points than the Mavericks are. 110 points a game allowed versus 104. Field goal percentage 46 versus 47 allowed. 38.0 field goal 3-point percentage allowed for the Suns, which is similar to what the Mavericks score on offense. 33 allowed against for the Mavericks. About 80 for free throw percentage again. And then rebounds, both teams are allowing more rebounds than they're individually getting. So that, again, that's the round one stats seeping into their total stats for the series. But again, 36 and 38 versus 41 and 44. And then assists, steals, and blocks. Again, the Mavericks don't get a lot of blocks. They don't get a lot of steals, but they don't allow a lot either. They're only allowing 20 assists, 4 steals, and 4 blocks for the series, which is less than the Suns other than the blocks. And then turnovers and fouls, very similar. Devin Booker being back has been huge for the Suns, and I do expect the Suns to finish off this series in either 6 or 7 games. They'll win their home games, and then it depends on whether or not they beat the Mavericks in Dallas in Game 6. So I have the Suns. I will say the Suns will win in 6. No, the Suns will win in 7. Suns will win in 7. Celtics in 7. I have the 76ers in 6, and I have the Warriors in 6. Those are my final... Warriors could go in 5. And those are my final predictions for all of the NBA conference semifinal games. Let me know what you guys think so far of the conference semifinals. Who do you think is going to win? 3 of the series are tied 2-2. Do you think they're going to go to the home teams? Or do you think someone's going to get an upset? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.